My question is, if Africa only had fufu and plantain, do you think China will be there trying to help Africa? If Africa only have plantain as its natural resource, do you think China, Russia, America, all the Western powers, all the international so-called community, do you think they will have any interest in Africa or in Nigeria? And that's why I'm concerned that if we are not careful, Africa will be recolonized. I repeat, if Africans do not take care, Africans may be recolonized. As we speak right now, the most important natural resource that Africa have is its people. The African population around the world, all the superpowers put together, including the black slaves that are now citizens of Europe and the Americas, they've created trillions of dollars of wealth. They help build the Western economy. And today, through different methods, the youths of Africa are now replacing the older Africans in captivity by coming here voluntarily to still continue to rebuild the Western and the Eastern economies. When we are not coming here, they are coming to Africa to remove, without equity, natural resources. Africa, with huge natural resource, known that Africa could easily be the richest planet. Africa is the richest planet in the world, the richest continent. The richest continent in the world. And Africa, with its people, remain poor, remain in a state of helping to constantly build the West and build the rest of the superpowers. Why? So when new governments come in, some people say Africa needs a revolution. But if the new governments that come in, especially the new wave of military people running through, replacing the old governments in Africa, those people need to look critically into what their plans are. Independence is not necessarily independence to bounce between two colonizers. You are with one colonizer under this administration, under this revolution, then the next revolution chooses another colonizer. Like I said earlier, if the Sahel region, comprising of those countries, Niger, Burkina Faso, all those African countries. When they cut ties with France and cut ties with Germany or cut ties with Great Britain, one we imagine or one we expect that with the new independence that they have a plan to build their own civilization the way they are inspired to build it, the way they will want to see their country, the vision that they have for their country. We expect to see them uh, uh, bring this vision out and invest in the people using their natural resource and retain their own people, so they are not constantly being removed to go and build the colonizers and the imperialist economies. So when that time is right, when revolution come together, especially through government change, African people on the continent and African in diaspora already have the basic knowledge of the fact that the black population overseas have built $1 trillion pounds of wealth and riches for them. We are very aware of that. America's wealth, without counting the one that the black people built, would be almost close to zero. 500 years of, over 200 years of slavery created the entire bulk of America's capital. Same thing with Europe. The entire Western Europe wealth was based on slave economy. That was the principal source of income. Since we know that, and then today we supposed to now say, okay, whatever resources we have left, let's now take it from here independently. But for some strange reasons, the new governments, the new political elite in Africa, they are still, I'm not sure what they are thinking, that China likes them, or that China has their interest, their best interest, or that Germany, or or even Germany, or France, or any of these people have their interest, or Russia, China and Russia, who happens to be their new favorite. I assure you, if Africa, if African countries only have fufu or egusi soup, you think China will be there right now? No, come on, don't kid yourself. China will not be there. China will tell you, if you're going to starve to death, then maybe that's your problem. You know what I mean? China will not be there. Russia will not be there if Africa only have cassava, or just being able to produce, say, for example, dates, for example, or Africa only produce melon, egusi soup, or efo. If Africa only have efo or tuwo, you think Russia will be there? Russia will not be there. Russia is only there for Russia's sake. Russians and Russian bilateral, multilateral, whatever lateral relationships they are talking about, they are only in Africa for Russia's purpose, for Russia's gain. And they are not even planning or hoping to even abide with some of the international environmental degradation of the environment. The Congo is a complete field of ecological disaster. Look at what Shell did in the Niger Delta. There is over $1 trillion worth of ecological disaster to be able to clean the place so normal life can begin. Shell has its profit in Europe and America. Why the Niger Delta remains one of the most devastated, one of the most, the worst country, the worst area to live in. And the people whose life are profoundly affected have been reduced to poverty. So we need to address the sweeping political mindset, either of the traditional democratic systems that we have in place in Africa, or the new ones that are pretending to come in to set up to set up the new governments, like in Mali, Burkina Faso, Senegal, Chad, and all those places. Niger. Congratulations. I'm not going to knock you, but we got to come to understanding that you got to up your game. You got to up your game. You got to stop begging. You got to take this independence and run with it, and run with it in a way that is purely domestic, so you can create your institutions. You can create your own political systems that you want. You don't have to go with absolutely the Western style of democracy. You can reconfigure a democratic system that you think will serve the purpose of speedy development. You can have a unitary form of government. You can have some kind of a voting system. You can reduce your chambers to very few people, instead of spending all that money to pay salaries to the civil bureaucracy. You can channel that money to immediate development of strategic opportunities, or strategic things that is required to mobilize, like roads, like trains, like power supply. Those are like emergency. Any technology that requires immediate value added to the system, you do it. You don't be bouncing around and trying to continue with the same, from one master, you are bounced to the next master, and both of them have the same goals. The Russian goal in Africa, the Chinese goal in Africa is not any different from any other imperial goals. Imperialism is form of economic capital extraction. And that is why I started my conversation by explaining to you that the enslavement of Black people, which most people really don't want to hear it. Oh man, that was thousands of years ago. Yes, that is true. I agree. That was thousands of years ago. That's true. But the addition of Black captured humans to the Americas, to the British, brought them a massive wealth. That's how they built their nation. So what I'm saying is that Black Africans in particular, have built some of the wealthiest economy, but not for Africa, for Europe and the Americas. We are responsible for the wealth of these nations. Therefore, today, they still manage to keep us oppressed so that we now look at them as a big brother, as advanced countries, which they are very clever to use those names. China came up mostly with Africa's extracted resource. They're getting almost 25 of all required technology, natural resources from Africa. All the minerals they are getting from Africa. They are paying pennies on a dollar. And Africa still continue to support them by buying the finished product. So we lose in several levels, so many layers of relationship. So if that's the case, then Africa will require or need or look within its own capacity building. Relax, take a deep breath, chill, take a pen and paper, and write down what your country needs. What is what would be the most important thing to do today? If you don't up your game, you keep bouncing from one master to another master. You go to the Eastern Bloc today, oh, Russia. Russia has always been in Africa. Russia has always been in Africa. And every country that Russia has been has not become advanced country, has not been self-sufficient. Russia is in Africa for Russians. China is in Africa with the same goals as the colonial and the imperial masters. They all use different methods. That's all. But the outcome, their vision of their relationship with Africa is exploitation, extortion, keep Africa poor. So when they make decisions, they are making decisions as poor country, looking at a big brother. And they've already gave you the psychological poison that we as blacks are inferior. You know, we already eat that poison. So Africans continue to look at the West as if they are the solution to Africa's problem, as if they are God sent to assist Africa. And that's not true. That's not true. So if we are going to utilize even, let's just say, a small percentage of our new independence, when I call it new, we are trying to change things around so as to focus in the inside. But you got to you got to do the work. You got to go all the way. You can't just say, oh, I'm doing a revolution. You know, you can't just do a revolution and still return back to another disattraction. You know, when you are dealing with Russia, sooner or later your language begins to sound like Russian language instead of French. Your language begins to sound like English instead of Chinese, Mandarin. You see? So when you make these relationships, you are still taking away from the central issue of indigenous, original development that the revolution, the change of government, supposed to bring. You know, and I'm not an expert in this area, but by just looking at a simple chart, a simple data of all Africa's relationship with most of the foreign nations, especially the advanced nations. They've told us clearly how they think about us and what they think about us. Who taught Africa that Africa is inferior? Why is Africans leaving their continent for other lands, for other civilization, for other countries? Why does Africans travel out? For the same reason that I'm telling you, is the same reason they are coming to Africa to extract our natural resource. And at the end, the so-called African elites are also extracted with the resources. So they are getting everything that they need for their own development. They are getting the natural resources, they are getting the minerals, and they are getting the sons and daughters of Africa almost for free, because these days I'm a volunteer diaspora. I am a volunteer diaspora, I'm telling you. You know, and with what I know now, I would rather want to support what's right. Not just what is true, but what's right. You know, I'm part of the diaspora economy. And diaspora has enlightened me. But because I have also studied hard, I now find out that some of the areas that concerns me most is Africa does not get any form of true friendship from anywhere. And if Africa knows that sooner or later Africa will be a colony of the Chinese, Africa may be a colony of the Russians. And I'll tell you why is that. Because as much as involvement as America has in Africa prior, as much involvement as the British had, British actually came with violence to ship Africans out of Africa, slavery. They were joined by the Portuguese, right? We all know the history of slavery. Now, they brought us over here. After slavery was abolished, they make us thank them for abolishing slavery. And we are all joyous. We all sing Amazing Grace for us to become free. Now they went to the second level of slavery, which is colonialism. Don't bring them here. We will sit on their ass. We will sit on their head over there. We exploit them on their own continent, not here. By chaining them and bringing them here, we don't want to do that. We want to make it easy. We don't want to pay for transportation anymore. We don't want to kill people anymore. We don't want to dump them in the Atlantic Ocean or in the Sahara Desert. We just want to do it there. We want to colonize them on their own land. And then they colonized us. And what does colonialism mean? How did they carry out this process? They came in and took over all our resources, institute their own government. If you will not submit to colonial power, to colonial authority by treaty, by simple conversation. If you say no, I don't want to be colonized, they shoot you, they kill you. They come in and plan and create a coup, like war, just like what's going on in Gaza, between Gaza, Palestinian, and Israel. They come in with their missionaries. If you don't listen to the missionary, then they will come in with the guns. It's like, the bigger the guns, the bigger you listen to their gods, Christianity and all of that. They came in with that. So to make sense out of all of this is to understand that Africans are very forgiving. But to forgive is good. There's nothing wrong in forgiveness and in getting things off your chest so you can move on. But in an attempt to move on, you got to understand where you're coming from. So when you say you want to move on, you are not moving on to go and beg in Europe. You are not moving on to go and beg Russia. You are not moving on to go and beg America. You are not moving on to go and beg anybody. You are moving on to develop your own country, to build your own civilization, to invest in your people so that they are not extracted by tricks, by previously direct captivity, by dangling gold and diamond in front of them, that, oh, we got gold and diamond here. What are you doing back there? So when they show you these videos of people living large, people who are doing booga up and down in America, now you want to be there too, which I don't blame them. But when you arrive here, what have you done? You've just been extracted from Africa at Africa's detriment to come and build and to continue to build what your ancestors built before. And you are building it to you are helping to build a civilization, a culture, a tradition. You are bringing everything you got to the diversity and to the economic progress of the colonizers, of the enslavers. And that's what exactly is the idea behind imperialism. They take your natural resource and your people's most important resource is the people's human capital. So you take the natural resources and you get the volunteer, visa-driven, economic-driven human capital along with the natural resource. So what is now left in Africa when some of the most brilliant minds have been extracted, some of the productive minds have been extracted, and even in most cases, it's so sad also for Africa that the primary education in Africa was paid for by Africans, by their governments, by families, and now the system now offers daughters and sons of African origin for economic help, economic support for the new host country, which is also our colonizers. So imperialism is also a trick. And they cover this imperialism up, or this neocolonialism, with bilateral exchange, brain drain, resource extraction, people extraction. All of them are shrouded. All of them are packaged in such a way whereby they are working hand in hand. But that account that shows you the outcome on Africa, it remains underdeveloped. The life expectancy is very low. Technology, uh, power supply, industrial technology, most of these things are still in its infancy, not fully built. So we need to work together to address the new governments and let them know, because they do know some things. At least they have the courage to take the power from the colonialists and the neo-colonialists and the imperialists. Yeah, they are doing okay. But if they continue to bounce around and don't up their game, instead of going begging all over the world, they need to sit back for a second and make sure that everything they are trying to accomplish is local. They need to start from home. Charity starts at home. You start your development from home. Leave China alone for a minute. That's my advice, because technology can be bought. Scientists can be, advice of scientists can be purchased. If you are looking for a specific way of construction of roads, you are looking for a new software to run your power and generation systems, you're looking for accounting system, you're looking for um, um, specific vaccines for your population, all of these things can be developed using local hands. Your own children and daughters, your own sons and daughters can do it. Africans can do it. And I insist that Africans can do it because all the Africans that are in diaspora have created trillion pounds and trillions of dollars of wealth for the diaspora economy. That's why the diaspora economy is so rich and so robust that even during such financial crisis, they bounce back. But Africa doesn't even have enough resources. How can it ever bounce back? Because it's never really fully achieved technology, scientific advancement. So please, let's work together on this topic. If someone has something to say, because some people are saying that, Africa needs a revolution. Yes, Africa needs a revolution. Nobody is questioning that Africa does not need a revolution. But the greatest revolution that I think, in my opinion, Africa needs is a revolution of the individual mindset. You have to understand that China, like I said in the beginning, if all Africa have is fufu, or only, or they have the Africa only have egusi soup, China would not be there. The reason why China, Russia, or any other foreign so-called bilateral, multilateral financial relationship with Africa is because Africa have the highest grades, the largest deposit of natural resource. That's why they are there. And it's better that Africans understand this. So when Africans now leave Africa, abandon African land, and go to Europe and America and other parts of the planet, what they have actually done is help, provide material help, intelligent help, brilliant help, to help build that economy in and against the development that would have taken place in Africa. That's why I had said, some people think maybe it's a misquote, that Africans in diaspora, all Africans from the time of slavery to today, is the reason why Africa is not developed. is the reason why Africa is poor. Because from the time of slavery till present, because slavery is still going on today. I mean, not in the physical sense, but in the imperial sense, in the neo-colonial sense. How did I get here in the diaspora? What am I doing here? What exactly am I doing here when my land, my origin, is one of the wealthiest origin that a human being could have came from? But yet I'm here in diaspora pretending or being convinced that I'm here to build a future for myself, whereas I am not. I have the greatest future if only I had applied myself to where I'm coming from. Because the new place I'm at, me being helping to build the diaspora economy, which I have done. I've done very well. I have lived up to every standard of producing for the diaspora economy. I have, I have done tremendous visionary things for the very many inspired activities I have done. The economy that I have put out here, it's tremendous, I would say. But at what expense? At what cost? Collectively, we have created trillions of dollars for the diaspora economy. Black people have created trillions of dollars. We have created some of the most insane wealth for the diaspora economy. And that is why I continue to hammer it down. Whoever wants to hear, the diaspora economy failed Africa. We are the problem of Africa, the diaspora economy. They take all the resources and they train us to become the elite that help them manage the economy and a mouthpiece to help recruit the next generation. Because all my brothers, all my cousins, all my nephews, up to all my family members, they all want to submit to the imperial economy. You see what I'm saying? So the cycle will only continue because the diaspora economy is not only a propaganda machine that help to recruit the newcomers. It's a detriment to Africa. Not just by thinking of the human side, like I was saying earlier, okay, human resource. So, okay, it's just human beings. Okay, you go there, you do your job, you get money, and you send some money home, repatriation, what you call it, remittances of money to Africa. Okay, yeah. That's beautiful. But that's just a tip of the iceberg for the individual. And even the repatriated money, even in the billions of dollars, as they have a report that remittance from diaspora to Africa is quite a big chunk. But because it's going in individual to individuals, most of the time, those monies psychologically create a dependency relationship between the diaspora and Africans. And that dependency is what has crippled the productivity, the vision, and even have crippled the industry of Africa. It creates sense of entitlement on the local population. Majority of them are waiting for the diaspora remittance. It drains the creativity. It creates dependency. So we need to really sit down and critically examine this. So if anyone wants to talk to me, you can send me a text message or put a comment below, and I'll make sure I respond. And right now, I don't have anyone that we debate and put these matters together for the social media. So if you feel like joining me one day, just inbox me or send me a text, and then we see if we can get together and really express what's going on in the diaspora and how the diaspora can turn the table around in such a way where, we truly know the identity of the Chinese and what they actually want from Africa, what thing then they look for. Just imagine, say, now only Boli. You know what Boli is? Roasted banana. Roasted banana now in Nigeria get. China go there. China no go come now. But because of the fact that Africa is the wealthiest natural resource location, that's why they are there. We have the richest natural resource in the planet. That's why everybody is scrambling for Africa. And those who scrambled for Africa before came in different stages. As I said earlier, you had in the trans-Saharan slave trade. It was human capital extraction. Africans are strong. Our genetics are strong. Our environmental conditioning are strong. And they took us to through Sahara Desert, all the way to Middle East. We used to be, the trans-Saharan slave trade was actually bigger. From some of the history that I read, was actually the trans-Saharan slave trade, which is the Arab slave trade. Africans used to be fully colonized by the Arabs before the British came in and then continue the cycle of slavery. Okay, that's one. So after the slavery was abolished, everybody was happy. Congratulations. We are now a free slave. Nobody is a slave anymore, right? But one would think that they're supposed to at least work with us and maybe pay some kind of money or some kind of... No, they said we should be happy that we are no longer a slave. So, okay, we got happy and then we are no longer a slave. Then they introduce another quick system, which is called colonialism. So colonialism, for another day, did a lot of destruction, damage. Colonialism is evil. They planted it on us. After colonialism finished, they started neo-colonialism, which is two people are claiming to be doing business equal. But at the end of the day, one of them end up with majority of the share, like almost 99% of the share of the joint ownership of the business. He end up in one person's pocket. Then the 1% will end up in your pocket. You have to use that money to buy something from the profit where the other guy make. So at the end of the day, Africa end up with nothing, because the 1% that they leave for us, we have to use that 1% to buy their manufactured goods. Meanwhile, the resources with which that goods was manufactured came from me. I'm the owner of the land. The collateral damage to the land, the ecological problem that the land have in the Niger Delta today, they are taking all our crude oil from us, paying us pennies on the dollar. They go there, refine the oil, they bring it back to us. They go there, refine our sugar, bring it back to us. They go there, refine our cotton, bring it back to us. They go there, refine our chemical, bring it back to us to do our road, to do everything. China is doing the same thing. But China is claiming that, oh, we are friends, oh, we will give you loan, but they are also not a friend. At the end of the day, China is not a friend. Like I ask you, answer the question. If, say now ogbolo soup, Nigeria get, Nigeria no get oil, Nigeria no get tin, Nigeria no get natural gas, Nigeria no get all those expensive copper, natural resources, or Zimbabwe, or what do you call it, Zambia no get copper, South Africa no get gold and diamond and natural gas, and Nigeria no get any of those things. Say Nigeria just get ogbolo soup, or na only okra Nigeria get. You think say China go come? China no go come now. China go, they say hello, you go see them, they go drive past their boat, they go carry their plane, they will be flying across the air. You go to see them, made in China. They no go stop. You go die, hunger go kill you. China no go stop. China go just continue going. But because you are so important, you are the richest planet on earth. We are the richest continent in the planet. That's why China is there. That's why America is there. And then to further put some sense in the head of Africans, did you ever ask yourself, why were we enslaved? We were enslaved because we say, if you object to them removing your natural resource, your diamond, your gold, your oil, they capture you. You know how many people we China don't, our colonialists don't kill? You know how many people? You know how many of our brothers and sisters they kill in Atlantic Ocean or in the Sahara Desert? We're talking of millions of our brothers and sisters. And now we, as the descendant of slave, I am a descendant of slave because my great-great-grandfathers are the ones they took and brought them to slave farms in foreign countries. Now, me, I still come waka reach here. I carry my 2 leg waka. The place where my grandfather, they killed him, they massacre him, they murder him, they wicked the man, wicked the children. Me self, I can't carry leg, come waka here. Meanwhile, everything where they get here, now my place where they carry and come out from. My land for Africa, now they carry everything where they get here. Now my place where they carry and come here. So, what did I do here? Because probably I am a Mugu. Because if I'm not a Mugu, what think carry me reach here? Not be there for day, they develop my own, they do my own. If I say I don't develop my own, then I will come here and I'll come ask them a question. Say, Oga, why you do this thing where you do so to my father? Why you come over there, come carry me, come carry slavery, come colonize me, come imperialize me? Who you be? Who you be? That time I will get a chance to take and ask a question. Because at that point, we are now on equal footing. I have my own technology. I have my own love. I have my own relationship with my land. I am comfortable as a man on my own land. I have my own vision. I have my own government system. Who says that democracy is the only system in the world? Who says that communism from the Soviet Union and Russia and all those places is the only system in the world? Who says that? The only people that say that is the same people who come and colonize us, who come and steal us, Is colonization a democracy? Is kidnapping a democracy? Then when they come say make you do democracy, you can't listen. You can't listen to them. Say, oh, we have to be democratic, oh, we have to be democracy. Oh. The same people where they tell you make you be democracy and not be the people where can kidnap over 1 million to 20 million of Africans. Come beat them where. Kill all of them. Even children, and they kill them. When they carry them, put for boat. If you know hear what, they just carry you, put for Atlantic Ocean, put for water, say this one, no, they listen. Kill our people like nothing. And then today, when we're supposed to say, wait a minute, our children now, they are all here. Still continue to help to the surrender and to the build, to the help create, to the advance them even further. The blessing where we're supposed to take bless our land, we come take and bless them here. Not be there where they talk now. Where you think say they talk? Not yet. Not there are places where they now. Who how I carry my leg will carry here. Not be people they tell me say, oh, Nadia good stuff there, go there. Not be I carry leg will carry here. Can't help them build more. At what price? At what price? So that is the question we need to continue to explore. Not be fight, not just to explore. Everybody, they say revolution, this, revolution, that. But how you go do revolution when you don't understand what thing they go on? Revolution can only be achieved when people are fully aware, conscious. You are conscious, you know what thing they go on. You sabi, your eye open, where. Then if you declare revolution, they will not say you sabi, you know where you they go with this revolution. The people who can't do revolution for Mali, all these places now, look what they begin do. You know, you get rid of one master because the master is very bad. He's doing nonsense. They cook soup, one master chop and finish. He say, maybe you go cook another one. You cook another one, he still chop am. You know, your pikin they hungry. Your children they hungry because master carry all the food. Go in own country, go the chop and there. For China, for France, for America, for Britain, for Norway, for everywhere, for Switzerland. They carry big money, your money, they carry and go Switzerland, go hide there. And then they call you criminal every day. Your money dey Switzerland, but now you then they call criminal. Which kind trouble be this? Not be nonsense be that. Huh? They say, oh, your democracy no good. But the people who carry your money, go put for Switzerland. The people who receive the money for Switzerland, now democracy where they get to, not be bad democracy be that. Now good democracy, they receive stolen money. But every day, then they call you, say, Joe, your people are no good though. Oh, black people in Africa, all these black nations. Oh, my God, they are so corrupt. But the people who receive the stolen money, they are also democracy. So we have to think carefully. And we have to apply ourselves, and we have to apply common sense. This revolution, where they talk, when people say revolution, they think say make them just carry cutlass, they kill everybody, make everybody just they fight white people, they fight Chinese. No, you don't have to fight anybody. First of all, we need self-revolution, so make we understand what thing they go on. Self-revolution, you as a human being. Because if to say, me I know what I know now, my revolution for start from home. And that is first of all to say, I'm not going there. Somebody will kill my papa, kill my grandpapa. The whole money where I supposed to they take chop. My country where supposed to be beautiful. The place where God put me. Because when God they create this planet, He put everybody in different parts. The one way He give us is the richest. The richest. Africa, God give us the richest planet. I mean, Google, go check out the richest planet, mineral with the Africa, till eternity, gold, diamond, uranium, We then they take make electricity. We then they take make everything. Battery, cars, iron ore, steel, everything Africa get that. We get on there. But yet, now we come poor pass. Now we no see food chop. Now we they die quickly. Before man reach 60, in don't die. The people we no get anything, we carry and give them, we they dash them. Even our children, we carry and dash them. Look at me. Not be dash, I come here, can't dash myself. They don't even come kidnap me. We know say they kidnap our grandfathers and our grandmother. They kidnap all those people. They carry them. Some of them, they shoot them. If you know one go, they just shoot you. Some people say, if you know one go, they just cut your head. Come on. Right there. Say, where? Say, you know one go? Okay. You know one enter boat? They just cut your head. And then you see the rest. They could quickly enter boat because they see two head for ground where they don't cut. That's how wicked those people are. So today, the same wicked people, you can't go say, now then we be your friend now. You carry your children, go put there. You carry your mama, go put there. You carry your whole family, may go there. These are wicked people. But not wicked in the sense that the people we did there now, not be saying now they will do this atrocity. But they are the children of those people who do all this nonsense, give us, all this wickedness, all these evil forces. They are the one. They are the children. So the children then can't devise new method. Say, they no go cut African people head. Black people will not go kill them like that. We go find story where we will tell them. Say, if you come here, you go enjoy. You go do this, you go do that. So we begin come here. Leave our fertile land. Leave our blessing for house. Come Wakarisha. And then when we reach here, what thing they tell us now? Then they tell us, say, oh boy, work hard, oh. Work hard. Work hard. If you work hard, oh my God, you'll be so prosperous. And then what do? We start working hard. For me, it paid off. But 99% of other Africans, it doesn't pay off like that. Some of them are still suffering here. They are suffering here. 99%. Some of them are in prison. Some of them are only doing just helping the father and grandfather who are now sick of the same people who kidnapped their own grandfather from Africa. You understand what I'm saying? Because you see, this is what happened. We Africans that are coming here today, we are the great-great-grandchildren of our ancestors that were kidnapped from Africa. So it's like your grandfather and your great-grandfather kidnapped my own great-great-grandfather. But me, as a new descendant, as a new children of my grandfather, I can't work for your grandfather. We perpetrate evil against my grandfather. And we never ask that question at any time. How many Africans don't ask the colonial master or the enslaver or the imperialist, say, Oga, come on. My grandfather worked for your grandfather without pay. My grandfather was killed by your grandfather. Today, may I come Waka reach here, they work for you for free. Why? They work for you for pennies. Why? Whereas the wealth where we can't find here, we get them for house. Abundance. As I told you earlier, Africa and African people, Sub-Saharan Africa, that's the name they give us, Sub-Sahara. I don't even know where the name comes from, but that's the name they give us. We have the largest, biggest deposit of minerals in the planet. So what we do with it is what is at question now. What are we going to do with this mineral? What are we going to do with these natural resources? Some of them still remain. They say we never even tap into it yet. And yet, every African leader, they are bouncing around. They are begging around. They are going to beg Russia, going to beg Ukraine, going to beg Israel, going to beg every nonsense foul. They go to beg China, go to beg Russia. The same thing where any colonial master want from Africa is the same thing that all of them want. They are just using, like I said before, make you hear me correct, to different method. So shine your face, understand what is going on. If you don't understand them, they say we may be recolonized. That's what they are planning now, that they will recolonize us because our leaders are still begging around. They are still going around up and down, up and down. Look at Tinubu. He's begging around. Look at the one from Ghana. That's also beg. Every day they give speech. Instead of making go sit down, do work. Work for the people. In the day they beg up and down. Idiot.